Good afternoon, everybody. I am sorry to interrupt your conversations, but we got a pretty full agenda today, so we're going to get rocking and rolling here. And we're going to start off with Ryan, who's grabbing one last sip of tea. Yeah, I got one for you here with Rotary Bucks. So, Ryan, take it away.
All right. Hello, Rotarians and guests. You should know the drill by now, but this is Rotary of Greenville's Happy Bucks. If you have some happy news to share or any news to share, we would love for you to share it with the club, but we do ask that you drop some cash in the bucket for Alzheimer's research. I see Rob's got a little bit of this frog skins here in his hand.
There's been a murder. Friday night, we're going to find out who did it. It's the fall social, so you better make sure you're there and put some money in this thing, because if you do, you'll be spared.
Bum, bum, bum. Hey, Rude.
Hi, my son-in-law has his birthday today. Happy birthday, son.
Hey, happy birthday to Rude's son-in-law. Roger.
I'm happy because Rude didn't have to borrow money to put in the bucket this week. So,
and move some money around there. There it is. There it is. We've got Happy Bucks. Happy Bucks. Rusty's got Happy Bucks.
Hey, everybody, I'm happy because this weekend, Saturday at 8:30, we have an opportunity to help our city by cleaning up the parks. You know, the hurricane did a bad job. We've got incredible city employees, but you'll get a sign-up sheet. It's in DAC DBC. Is that right? DAC DBC. It's there already. But y'all, we're going to do this. We're going to help the city. It's going to be awesome, and I'm super happy about that.
Thank you, Rusty. What a great ministry to help out our city and our beloved park downtown. All right, Mr. Honda has some Happy Bucks.
Happy and would like to make an announcement. I have become a proud grandfather again, and a 16 days old boy.
Congratulations. Christmas is going to be expensive for you this year. You sure you want to drop that in there? Thank you. Very good. Very good. More Happy Bucks.
I am so happy to have my friend Lisa here speaking to us about Jasmine Road today. What a wonderful organization. What a wonderful person to lead it. It's going to be a great day today.
Thank you. Yes, excited to hear Lisa, our fellow Rotarians, speak. We've got two back here. Ladies first. Of course, Bob understands that.
Hi, I'm Jackie. I'm visiting today from South Florida. My son just moved here, and I'm happy that your meeting coincided with my visit.
Hey, welcome. Glad to have you here. Yes, sir, Mr. Howard.
I'm happy because all of our Rotary Club meetings are on YouTube after a day or two. And after Will Ragland spoke, I knew 4 people that were good friends of his that weren't here. And I emailed them the link. They all watched it, loved it. Will loved it, that we had mailed it. And that's a great way to prospect for our club, because everybody was very impressed with all that our club does. Because if you watch the video to get the speaker, you got to listen to everything we say.
Thank you, Bob. I didn't know that we were on YouTube now, and I'm instantly regretting being on this microphone all the time now. It's a little aggressive. Christina?
Hello, my name is Christina. I'm a new member of the club, and I'm very happy. When I heard that I got accepted, I jumped out of my seat and I couldn't stop smiling. Thank you very much for having me in your group, and I'm looking forward to meeting all of you personally.
Thank you, Christina. Welcome to the club. Christina's from Easley originally, believe it or not, with that accent. That's a joke. That's a joke. Comes from the great country of Germany, where our good friend Mr. Unterzacher's family also hails from. Great folks there from Deutschland. Any other Happy Bucks news to share? Very well. Well, don't forget to take advantage of the social this Friday, the murder mystery Rob's been planning, and I think you'll probably hear an announcement today, but let's not forget about all the good work happening with the Kringle Holiday Village and making some magic happen for our club and our community this holiday season. Thank you so much.
thank you very much, Ryan. Okay, we have quite some announcements to get through today. So, starting off with the Greenville Breakfast Rotary Club is inviting everybody to join them this evening at 5:30 to do Pints for Polio. They've done that the last few years. They raise money towards Rotary's efforts to eradicate polio. It's at Southside Brewery. This Thursday, our After Hours Club is meeting. We're back at our original venue now that they sorted out their liquor license and insurance issues. So we're back at Local Q. It's over by Haywood Mall. Please join us. All club members are welcome to join us. And I hope you all maybe saw on Facebook, they did their first project on Saturday. It was fantastic. They built a couple of book nooks for a child's haven. It was a fantastic project. And thanks to them and all of you who participated. You heard about our murder mystery. Just a reminder, this Friday at 7 p.m. On Thursday, November 7th, so this couple weeks out, we have Thirsty Thursdays at Magnetic South Beer. We have this Friday, I jumped over, I should back up. This Friday, there's a build session. Is Brett Caldwell here? I don't see Brett, but we're having a Kringle build session at Brett's place of business, Caldwell Constructors. It's back behind St. Joe's High School there. Let me see. Then there's another build for Kringle on November the 8th as well. On November 11th, we have Health and Happiness. And that's all where's Susie? That's all the details I have is November 11th, Health and Happiness. And then on November the 12th, so I think that's 2 or 3 weeks from today. I think it's actually 3, but my notes say 2, so I won't swear to it. Our district governor is going to be here, and so I don't want you to worry that it's going to be boring district governor stuff. Rashika Bush is her name, and she's an absolutely fascinating person. She's a clinical psychologist, has a master's degree from USC. We won't hold that against her. And she has a fascinating personal life, and I won't take any more from that. She's with the Aiken Sunrise Club, so she's coming quite a distance to be with us. And we're looking forward to her being here. And just a note, we'd love to fill the room up. If you bring a guest, your guest can eat for free. So we'd love to have all members and all of your guests join with us. Your buckets. I want to see every bucket being picked up on a table and passed around right now. I promised Jim I would make that announcement. So let's see the buckets going around the tables. I'll return yours in a minute over there. Also on your table is a flyer. This is a food drive we're doing. This is for the Thanksgiving backpacks that we do for Alexander Elementary School. We're collecting food, and you can bring it to our next meeting on the 11th. Or you can drop it off anytime at Craig Golden Davis, which is Scott and Andrea's firm down the street here, if you could do that. But we'd love to have your donations to help with the backpacks to help feed the kids over Thanksgiving holidays. And bow your heads with me. May the world be free from suffering. May we be happy. May we be healthy. May we know peace and love and joy. And if you'd stand for our pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all. All right, I think Iris is up next.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Rotary meeting. My name is Dr. Iris, and I will be introducing the guests. We've got a guest of Brian Little, Luke Magnum, if you could please stand and hold your applause until the end. Brett Chappell, hopefully I'm saying that right. Guest Chappell. Okay, guest of Lauren Marvin. We've got Adair Powell. Guest of Anne Marie Schell. We've got guests of the club, Robin Phillips, Angie Einstein, and Andrew Bond, if you could please stand. And then we've got Shannon Humphreys and Dave Amin. Guest of Susie Tumblin. Hopefully I said that right. Welcome, you guys. Thank you for joining us. And we've also got a visiting Rotarian, Jacqueline and Daniel Gilman of the Rotary Club in Weston, Florida. Welcome, guys.
Roger mentioned at the last meeting how we helped serve food for the Alexander families after Helene. The school was closed for a week and a half, totaling 8 school days. Thanks to all of our club members again for your generosity. Everyone's back at work now at Alexander, and I'm pleased to welcome our Alexander visitors today. Again, hold your applause till the end. First is our Teacher of the Month, Carrie Pilkey. Carrie, stand up. Nope. Oh, well, we'll applaud anyway. Carrie's a fourth grade teacher with over 20 years in education, and this is his first year at Alexander. Next is our Staff Member of the Month, Plant Engineer, Lori Skipper. Thank you. Lori's been at Alexander for 3 years and has 15 years in education. Thank you. Welcome, Carrie and Lori.
Well, obviously, Kendra has a very important job. Sometimes it ranks a little bit higher than Rotary. So Kendra isn't here, so I'm going to share a little bit about what's happening with Greenville. For our visitors and for some of our new members, you may not know that the reason we can do what we do at Alexander and all the other great things that we do is because of our fundraiser, Greenville Village. So if you don't know, at Alexander, we buy shoes for kids who really need it. We send them food on the weekends that are very long and they need food. We have wonderful people in here who are mentors, who read to them, who supply hundreds of books. So we do really great things at Alexander and other places. So that's what motivates lots of us to get very involved with our fundraiser, Greenville Holiday Village, really Greenville Village and Holiday Fair this year. So the third weekend in December, the 5th, 6th, and 7th, we're going to take the Greenville Convention Center and transform it into a winter wonderland. So on the exhibition side, many of you have been to the holiday fair. It's been there for over 50 years. So that'll still be there. But in my opinion, all the fun's going to be on the other side with Greenville Village. In the middle of that huge ballroom, we're going to have a carousel on the inside of the building. And around the carousel, we're going to have our kids area. We're going to have Greenville's biggest snowball fight. We have a snow maze. We have 3,000 snowballs coming. So you come, you bring people you love, people you hate, and have a big old snowball fight. We have Santa Claus. We're having slides. We're having a beer garden. We have all the great German food you would like, drinks, live music. We have the silent auction. We're going to have Kringle cash to make more money. And then we're having all these extras that we haven't had before. We have our VIP event on Thursday night, which is going to be outstanding. We're going to have a great menu. The decor is going to be something you have never seen in Greenville before. Very elegant, very nice. People who like to dress up, it's going to be super fun. And the great part is for people who really like to have a super time, a part of the VIP is to go see Randomonium, which is going to be there for Mingle at Kringle. So if people don't want to do the fancy stuff, for your $10 fee for general admission, you can come in and enjoy one of Greenville's greatest bands. That's Thursday night. On Friday, we're having family movie night. So bring your kids, bring your family, bring your blankie, bring your pajamas, whatever you want. We're going to see Elf, which is going to be super fun. And then Saturday, we have all that regular fun, and we're going to have the pageant. If you know young women who want to do fun, get all dressed up gushy for Christmas, we're going to have a pageant. And then that afternoon, we're having a very special new element, and it's going to be the Enchanted Tea. So if you're from a family who likes to get dressed up, you like the kids to get dressed up, bring them. You can have your Christmas picture made, and you're going to have like a little high tea food. And then we're going to have the storyteller book guy, Michael Cogdell, who many people who grew up in Greenville know him. He's going to read one of his books, and he's going to talk to the kids about giving, community, and what we should all be about. So if of all those things, you haven't found one thing that excites you about Christmas, you need to get in the spirit. So just a couple things to let you know about now is that we have this for the VIP event. If your company has a small holiday party or something, Anne-Marie and Rusty, Anne-Marie especially, who is your concierge holiday party, you can talk to Anne-Marie and you can have your holiday office party as part of this whole VIP event. You don't have to find a place. You don't have to do the decorations. You don't have to choose the food. We're going to have some private entertainment in there. And then at the end, your employees can go here randomonium. So it can't get much easier or better than that. So see, Anne Marie, if you'll wave your hand. And so at the end, she's brought some information we can pass out. And then, of course, to make all this a success, we really need sponsors. And this year, there are great reasons to be a sponsor. We're expecting over 15,000 people at this event. And the promotions and advertising is being done by the Hughes Advertising Agency. So if your company wants to support Rotary and do all the great things we do, give their name out to over 15,000 people and be part of this great publicity pre-event, then you need to be a sponsor. So Anne Marie's a little flyer that we're going to be handing out at the end will have information about being a sponsor and the VIP event. So please put it on your calendar now. Oh, that's the who, what, when, why. And the who is all of you. We need volunteers to make this happen. It's just a little sign up genius. You can go to the Rotary KringleHolidayVillage.com website and sign up to volunteer at any of those periods on there, 13 and above. It's a great thing for kids, families, grandparents, everybody. So you are the who to make this a success. So sign up now. Thank you.
Let's give another big hand for Jane. She pours her heart and soul into this event every year. I am worried she offered to let me into the snowball thing for free. Yeah, I'm sure there are. All righty. So if you could go to, I'm going to talk about the club survey. Now, I mailed it to all of you yesterday, day before, to let you go through, because like I said in my note, we could spend an hour in here talking through each one of these questions. And again, thank you to everybody who took the survey. Almost 50%, not quite to 50%, but very, very happy with the overall results, because typically when we send out a survey, we get about 25 or 30 responses. So thank you everybody for that. But I want to skip to the last slide. You can go through all this stuff. I sent it to you. There's nothing earth shattering in any of it. In general, the feedback was good. But the more important thing, we went through the comments. Skip all the way to the last slide, please. So there's the pluses and minuses. Whoops, there we go. But I just want to talk about what we as, your board of directors for this club have decided to prioritize from what we got out of the survey. We can't do everything or we'll do nothing, as I said in my note, but these are the things we took away. And the big thing that we saw, especially in the comments, was people are looking for more networking opportunities. So in a few minutes, you're going to hear about our new networking group that Stacy and Lonnie have offered to put together. It's modeled off something else, but we'll let them talk about that. But that was a huge need, and I'm very happy that that they volunteered to do this. Second point was around new member engagement. There were some comments about we don't do a very good job of introducing new members, and I think that that's maybe true. And so we're going to look at how we introduce them and how we get them into the club. We've started a cocktail hour attended by club members as well as new members that we'll do twice a year for the new members. And then we're also going to do a better job, hopefully, of engaging them quickly. The sooner we get you onto some kind of committee and actually involved in something outside of an hour lunch twice a month, the higher the probability is that you're going to become an engaged member and a long-term member in the club. Then engagement and participation of non-new members or old members, or however you want to refer to them. That was another thing. There's a lot of, there were many comments about maybe 20% of the members of this club do 80% of all of the heavy lifting that the club does. And so we're trying to improve that. We're going to have more social events. I think our casino night or our non-casino night, whatever the case may be, was a great start. We had great participation and great feedback on it. We're having another one on Friday. You've heard us talk about it for a while. Hopefully that's going to be just as good or even better. We're going to continue to evolve our standard agenda to try and make the meetings more enjoyable or more engaging, to try and improve participation. I mean, if you look around the room, we have 160 some odd members in this club. We typically have about between 40 and 50 people at each meeting. So people vote with their feet, and if we make the meetings better, people will come to the meetings. Where was I? The other thing was people felt the speaker selections, and there were several comments about maybe we're in a rut. It seems to be about on a 2-year cycle of the same bodies that stand up here in general. So a couple things we're going to do there. One, we're going to evaluate the feedback and see if we can maybe not cycle through the standard speakers. And the second thing is people wanted a voice without being on the committee and speakers. So we are creating, actually, I think we're shamelessly copying something from the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor, Michigan, where it'll give you, every member, an opportunity from our website to go in and suggest a speaker. So you don't have to be a big shot like Scott to get your speaker selected. Anybody can make suggestions, and you will, I promise you, at least as long as I'm still part of the committee, you will get feedback, one way or the other if we've selected that speaker to speak. So those are some of the things we're going to do, and hopefully I'll come back to you by the end of this year, maybe early in the next Rotary year, to talk about where we think we stand on these things and how we've done. So thank you. And now we're going to turn it over to Lonnie and Stacy.
All right. So this is networking. And it was just not that long ago, I think a few months ago, that Roger and I sat together and we were talking about RILA and youth services, but then the conversation went on to really networking. And we talked about a hidden secret in the club that many of us join for not only just to help out the community, but if we're in business, we want to be able to network intentionally and build our businesses as well. And that's where the idea that was backed up by the survey that we recently put out, that it's something that all of us want inside of this group as well. So that's what we're going to be working on here today. And the last why is really the next slide here. Then the last why is really more about intentionality. So we want to create an atmosphere where we're thinking about doing business with somebody inside of the chapter before we do something outside of it. So really intentional within all of our 160 members. So if you're thinking about doing business, think inside first.
I'd like to introduce Lonnie, just so you have. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Just to introduce a little bit about Lonnie, he had founded the Elite Network BNI chapter. It grew to become one of the most successful BNI chapters in Greenville and the Southeast. So he has some chops when it comes to building networking groups.
And the next slide, Stacy. So when we got together, Roger said, I want to get you together with Stacy because Stacy's on the board, and we were talking about the survey, and Stacy's like, I did that. So when Stacy and I were talking, and I was saying all the things and the reasons why I wanted to help build a networking group, Stacy said, well, I started a networking group. So Stacy built a successful networking group that's still going strong today. There's two people that get it, and I think Stacy gets it, and it's great to have her as a partner in putting this together.
So the vision of this is to create oops, sorry. I think I'm loud enough. The vision is to create a consistent and ever-growing referral cultivation force generated by the energy of our Rotary members by practicing the giver's gain philosophy. This will positively impact our network group, our Rotary Club, our businesses, our relationships, and our community. So when will we meet? We'll meet every 2 weeks right before the lunch meeting. Who can participate? Any existing Rotarian in our club that are in good standing, either from the lunch club or the after hours club, and are currently working in their primary profession full-time. You cannot be a member of another referral group like this. You cannot join with a side job. It must be your primary occupation. So one of the main goals that we are trying to accomplish is to infuse and inspire the intentionality, as Lonnie said, with our overall club. We want to make sure that if you're going to pass referrals, you think about the folks in your club first.
Next slide. So the WIIFM radio station, what's in it for me? All right, so we really wanted to make this matter to the folks that are going to be joining it. The first thing is we're the largest Rotary Club in Greenville, and then we have the power behind that. So what's in it for me is this is going to be an organized group that gets together to intentionally help and give referrals back and forth amongst members. Number two, members will have the opportunity to receive qualified referrals from the group. So the idea here is going to be that referrals are going to be the currency of the group. So if I give a referral, the idea is that the other person might think about giving a referral back to me. It's going to be structured as well. There's going to be an agenda when we meet as well. So when we meet, everyone will have an opportunity to give a little commercial and educate the group as well as to what they do, so that if they're around town or they're thinking through their 400 or 500 contact Rolodex of people that they know, your name is going to maybe pop up so that they can intentionally give you a referral as well. The other what's in it for me, the top member, and we're going to define what that top member for the month is going to have the option of giving a 3-minute presentation to the entire club once a month as well. And lastly, and I mentioned this before, is it's about education. Think Google. We'll have an opportunity to, through education, create a Google search term. So if we're thinking about other people, we'll be able to think about the person that they had just mentioned what they do.
So what's the cost? What's the cost? Nothing. It does not cost anything to join our group. This is part of your Rotary Club dues, so there is no cost to join. Okay. We'd like to launch this club in January or February. Today, there's going to be a sign-up sheet we have at our table. If you want more information or you want to preliminary sign up, we're going to be having some information sessions. Those are TBD right now. We're going to get some folks together. If you want some more information, we're going to sit down and talk a little bit further about what it entails. And an email blast will be sent out to let you all know when it is going to take place.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's so good to be here with you today. I am so excited to be able to introduce our speaker today, who has just joined our club. We are so blessed to be able to have this person in our club. Lisa O'Connell Hall is a native Greenvillian that moved back to Greenville in 2023 and currently serves as the CEO of Jasmine Road and Jasmine Kitchen. Lisa is a passionate fundraiser and earned her certified fundraising executive certification in 2016. Prior to her moving Greenville, Lisa spent nearly 9 years fundraising for a county-wide arts organization in Spartanburg. She was responsible for raising money from city, county, and state government entities. And in addition, she raised nearly $1 million a year from private, individual, and corporate donors. Jane. Before her work in arts, Lisa raised funds for a child welfare organization. In 2017, Lisa won Women of Achievement from South Carolina's Business and Professional Women. Great honor. Lisa has learned to lean into change, has made the decision to go back to school at 38 and get her Bachelor of Science in Business and Marketing at the best university around, University of South Carolina, upstate. She was the first member of her family to obtain a 4-year college degree, and since graduating, both of her children have obtained their degrees as well. Lisa's favorite quote is, "It's never too late to be what you might have been." Join me in welcoming Lisa.
Thank you so much. It is really an honor to be here and talk with you a little bit about Jasmine Road. Jasmine Road is a home where women, the most marginalized women in our community, come to heal and find their worth. We are a home where survivors learn that it is never too late to change. Jasmine Road is a safe sanctuary where women learn to listen to that little voice and start believing that they can make positive changes in their life. We are a home where we celebrate all the wins and never, ever, ever give up. So as Scott said, I started in 2013 and I have spent my life and my career with a focus on social justice and equality. And I have a lot of personal interest in healing and breaking intergenerational trauma. I am a personal adult survivor of many childhood adverse experiences, including substance use disorder, poverty, and domestic violence, all in my home. You can go to our second slide. So our mission is to provide a path of healing and employment to women survivors of sex trafficking, prostitution, and addiction. So just to give y'all an idea, every woman that is in our care has been trafficked or in prostitution, which we could argue are the same, and are dealing with a substance use disorder. One survivor said, "This place is the first real home I've had since childhood. I'm not used to having simple things that most people take for granted, like new sheets, real dishes, and handmade blankets. We all have that here and more. The gratitude I feel every morning when I wake is unexplainable." Next slide. Thank you for inviting me. Our missions do align. It is really wonderful to be in a room full of people who want to make our world and our community a better place. The next one. My dream, my personal dream, is to imagine a community where generational cycles of trauma are healed and sex exploitation is eradicated. Excuse me. We are South Carolina's first two-year residential program, and we are the only program of its kind in South Carolina. As I said, we serve to heal, empower, and employ. We have 2 homes, 15 women. It's a holistic and individualized care plan for each woman. So each woman comes into our home with different goals, different dreams, and we help them obtain those goals and dreams. Women live with us rent-free, expense-free for up to 2 years, and then they have an opportunity for an additional year in our transitional housing. These changes do not happen overnight. It takes a long time to heal intergenerational trauma. One resident at Jasmine Road said, "I didn't have to worry about bills. All I had to do was nurture myself. I didn't know who I was because I never had a chance to know myself. I was never able to give or properly receive love." And that resident is a leader in our program now. Our next slide. So the history. So in 2015, Becca Stevens, the founder of Thistle Farms, which is an internationally recognized organization in Nashville, she came to Christ Church, and she really sparked a passion with several women. And those women went to Thistle Farms and visited, and this really started a movement here in Greenville. In 2016, Jasmine Road was incorporated with the partnership of Christ Church and Triune Mercy Center, with Catherine Norwood as our first board chair. In 2018, we opened our first home serving 5 women with Beth Messick as the executive director. In 2020, we opened Jasmine Kitchen. As y'all can imagine, 2020 was an interesting year. We opened Jasmine Kitchen on Augusta Street, and it really has become a very popular lunch destination. I'll tell you more about that. In 2022, we opened our second home, tripling our capacity with 8 additional beds. And in 2023, we started our transitional living for program graduates. And I often liken this to, when my son graduated college, he was an adult, but not quite ready to fly the nest. And he came home and he lived with me for a year. And there are a lot of women who do not have that support. And so graduating from our program, they are able to come and live, and it is just an additional underpinning for their support. To date, we've had 10 graduates, many changed lives, and over 5,000 nights of safety for women in our community. So what is human trafficking? Next. Nearly 80% of all trafficking cases involves sex trafficking. I think a lot of us, think this is a child that's being abducted, but it includes force, coercion, and fraud. And I'm going to tell you a story, and Scott, please let me know when I have 5 minutes. I'm going to tell you a story of one survivor. She had 2 parents in her home, and her parents loved her very much. She would say, most of you would not, but she would say she had a normal home life. She grew up very poor, and both of her parents had very serious substance abuse struggles. Her home was extremely dysfunctional. She had an older sister. There were just 2 of them, and her older sister became pregnant at 14. This was a real turning point in their home. Things got a lot worse and a lot more disruptive for the family. And with that stress, her parents' addiction started to escalate. And that's when DSS got involved. She spent a year in foster care due to child neglect. And by the time she was a teenager, she began to act out as well. She was extremely close to her sister. She idolized her, as everyone that has older siblings. And she was heavily influenced by her sister's work in the escort business. Lacking stability in her home, she sought attention from older men. At 17, she was regularly using drugs, dropped out of school, and moved in with her abusive boyfriend. Not seeing good role models and seeking unhealthy relationships, when he was incarcerated, she was left homeless. She ended up on the streets with no job, no money, no car. And when you end up, this is her quote, when you end up on the streets, you always have something to sell. She started working strip clubs, escort services, and again, her quote, smoking a lot of crack. Prostitution and drug addiction, they go hand in hand. The more she was in the life, the more drugs she used. The more drugs she used, the more she was in the life. She said her life was a revolving door of men, drugs, and prostitution. And this is not unlike a lot of stories. She lived this way until she was 29. She learned about Jasmine Road through an outreach program that we have in our detention center. And just like that quote, she came to us and said she really didn't know who she was, what she liked, and what she wanted to do. She said Jasmine Road created that space for her to figure it out. In the 2 years she was with us, she got off probation. She paid fines that she owed. She got her driver's license, got her GED, and even obtained a 2-year degree. She said, and this is so powerful to me, the biggest thing Jasmine Road has given me is a purpose. After leaving Jasmine Road, she got married, she had a baby, and she's come back to work with us as a lived experience expert. She recently told me, and I feel this so much in my soul, life today is better than I could have ever imagined, better than any dream I had as a child or hope I had for myself. So the next slide, I think a lot of people really do misunderstand, is sex trafficking or is prostitution, is it a choice? As we heard from that story, do we really think she had much of a choice? Most of the survivors in our program were introduced to prostitution by a family member, a boyfriend, someone that was close to them. And like our previous story, she said, when you have very few choices in life, the choice to sell yourself to survive seems inevitable. A lot of people think that this does not happen in your community. Greenville ranks a top 3, tied with Horry County, which blows my mind, for the highest number of reported activities for trafficking. The need is great. So far in 2024, we have received 161 applications. We've done a lot of work, as I mentioned, doing outreach in our detention center. And one of our residents said, I had never heard of a program like this. When I was in jail, I was told about it. I knew I had a drug problem and there were other things to work on. I didn't think I'd ever get help with my trauma, but I do here. And another resident said, my spirit, my mind, my soul are beginning to heal. Next. So we are a resident first model. And what that means is we spend 2 years investing in the healing services of our residents. They get health care for free. We help them with mental health care. So that can mean that they go to a psychiatrist, they get medication that they need, or they're going to a therapist. Most of them both, some just therapy, but that therapist is really investing long-term. It takes a long time to heal from the type of trauma that the women in our program have endured. They are receiving spiritual help through Grace Church, Trying Mercy Center, Christ Church, and many, many other church partners. They receive job skills training with Jasmine Kitchen and a lot of creative outlets through art, yoga, equine therapy. Next. We offer, one of the things that really interested me a lot with Jasmine Road is we offer a lot of wraparound services, dietitians. Now, I mentioned that women in our program get GEDs. They can go to Greenville Tech and get a 2-year degree, or even paraprofessional certifications. They do culinary training with Greenville Tech. There is an extensive amount of legal help that a lot of women in our program, they are coming from jail. They're trying to get their driver's license back. They're wanting to be reunified with their children. So there's a lot of legal help that we are offering them. Budgets and financial literacy. I mean, many of us could use that help as well. So just really learning how to build a budget, learning what financial literacy really means. And then if they save $1,500, which they have a lot of opportunity to do that, then we have a match savings program as well. And a quote from a resident, the resources they have for us and help us, it doesn't stop at graduation. They still help us get to where we want to go. We put the work in, but they walk beside us. They don't have to hold our hand every day, but they will. So our program is divided up in phases. This was modeled after Thistle Farms. So not to get too much in the weeds, but to let you all know that when women come to our program, as I said, they haven't really had a lot of time to think, what do I want out of life? How can I heal from this trauma? So phase 1 is really, they're focusing on their addiction recovery and their trauma recovery. It is a time for their nervous system to take a deep breath, to really learn to not be in that fight or flight all the time. That depends on the woman and when she is ready to move up along with her goals that she has set. So it's like I said, it's an individualized care plan. And then they start at the end of phase 1 working. We do our job readiness or the work development at Jasmine Kitchen. Phase 2 is a lot of personal growth and employment skills. They're really getting more independence. They get a cell phone. That first phase, they do not have a cell phone. And then they can work more shifts at our restaurant. Phase 3 is all about achieving their goals, financial independence. They can leave as early as 18 months, but can stay up to 2 years. And in this phase, women get a car. There are so many women in our program who have never owned a car. And then they work more shifts at Jasmine Kitchen. The final phase is what we call Sisters for Life. And that is a group, you know, if you've gone through something very specific in your life and you meet someone who's gone through a very similar experience, that bonds you. And so the women in the Sisters for Life program, they're bonded. They understand each other like no one else does. And so they continue to get together and do things far after graduation. So our kitchen and our social enterprises next. So our kitchen, we have 2 social enterprises. Our kitchen is our most forward-facing. It is a scratch-made restaurant where the women can come, they can work. They start out working there, they get job training. Some of the women in our program says it is the first legal job that they have ever had. They have it's a safe and nurturing, it's a trauma-informed environment. A lot of people say, well, why not go and work at, different places in Greenville? And at first they're still working on their nervous system. They're still working on being able to interact with different people. And it's a very safe environment. One of our graduates said it is a place where it is okay to not be okay. It is also raising critical awareness for our organization. And Jasmine Kitchen, I think a lot of people don't realize this, but it does not fund Jasmine Road. It actually relies on donations. We have to overstaff, and we are lunch only. We don't serve alcohol because we are a substance abuse facility where we're trying to help women come off of substance abuse. So it relies on donations as well. We also have our products, which are our candles, our jewelry. We sell other items, and we just launched soap. So if you're looking for a great gift for the holidays, I encourage you to go to jasminekitchen.org and check that out. If you're looking to have someone cater a meeting, Jasmine Kitchen is really a fabulous place. We do a lot of catering. We have currently, between Jasmine Kitchen, Jasmine Road, and our other social enterprise, we have 4 graduates that we employ that we're really happy that we've been able to utilize such smart and capable women. So our community partners. We really do have too many that I can list here, and that's probably not large enough for y'all to see, but we have folks like Dr. Strasbaugh, who has really invested heavily in the women in our program, United Ministries, Greenville Tech. Women go to school at Greenville Tech. They do the culinary training at Greenville Tech. Front Porch Housing, which is with Grace Church. We are there, and Grace Church is an amazing supporter of ours. Kevin Finney, who has really come alongside us as we are running a kitchen. These community partners help build community for our residents. They show the residents that the world is not always a bad place. Many partners go above and beyond and invest in our survivors. I also want to give a special, I'm going to run through this because I'm told to have 5 minutes. Our next slide is, I would be remiss if I didn't really tell you about some very special folks have invested in us. Bon Secours, the women in our program receive free health care with Bon Secours. Christ Church, Grace Church, our founding board of Jasmine Road, Catherine Norwood, who's just been such an amazing supporter, helped really get the kitchen off the ground, amongst many other things. And then we are recipients of United Way funding, and so we're really thrilled about that. And how can you get involved? So right now, I work for an organization a legislative organization in South Carolina that is trying to help change the law where right now sex buyers and prostitutes are charged at the same level. And since 2015, we have been trying to change this legislation. Every year it's passed in the Senate, but has died in the House Judiciary Committee. So we are doing a petition right now at Jasmine Kitchen, and I would love for you to sign that petition. And the petition is that we are increasing the penalty because without buyers, we would not have this exploitation that is happening to women in our community and men and children for sure. So if you see that petition, will you please sign? If you are ever speaking to anyone that is on the Judiciary Committee, Jason, I saw you walk in. I'm not really sure where you are. Sorry, I know you're on that committee. We're not really ready to bombard Jason or anyone on that committee. We are looking for someone to sponsor that bill right now, but you'll be hearing more about that. And I just really encourage you to sign the petition. Be on the lookout for that. There are other ways. You can be an ambassador. You can volunteer. Obviously, we need donations. Please cater your next meeting with us. And then resources are our last. We're constantly learning as an organization. The Safe House Project is a really great place to look. They help survivors being placed in safe housing. The National Trafficking Sheltered Alliance, that's a group that we're a part of. SCAR, which is an alliance for recovery residents. They help with standards and ethics in recovery homes. We are currently certified. And then the South Carolina Human Trafficking Task Force, Catherine Moorhead is really doing a lot of great work in that office that is headed by the Attorney General, Alan Wilson. So thank y'all so much for letting me. I did kind of breeze through that rather quickly. If y'all have any questions, I would love to answer them. The kitchen is on Augusta Road. It's really close to Greenville High. Fleet Feet is right near it. Yes, it's Monday through Friday. If you have not been, you are really, really, really missing out. It is fabulous food. It really is. You know, it's so easy. I am so picky about food, and I'm glad that I went to an organization that sells really good food. So I eat there almost every day. You know, that is a fabulous question, and it has evolved over the years. So to make sure, we have a house full of, it's 13 women in the program and 2 women in transitional living. So we want to make sure that that house remains stable for everyone that's there. So every time we bring a woman into the program, we want to make sure that they're not coming just because they're being mandated, although there are some that have been, and that's worked out great. There are some mental health issues that we are just not equipped to help. So we are making sure that whoever comes, they are stable in their mental health and that the care that they need is at the standard that we're able to provide. I think it's an art and a science, and our residential team work very hard when they are going through the application process. We also have a program with a detention center where we're going in every week and we are providing a class for the women that are in the detention center. And that really does help them understand what we are doing, what we are offering them, and it just helps match even better. Oh yeah, we do. We have a waiting list right now. And it's interesting that you asked that. We just started tracking per week. So I can tell you it's probably 5 or 6 since we've started tracking, but it will tick up as it gets colder, as we get closer to the holidays. It's very cyclical. Most people, we all have someone in our family that has dealt with substance use disorder. And we all know that there are certain times of year where they're really facing change, and that really does mirror the application processes with Jasmine Road. Thank y'all.
Thank you so much, Lisa. That was fantastic. Lisa has signed our book that we give to Alexander Elementary School. So I think Mike, there's Mike. Okay, I'll make sure I get this to Mike after the meeting. Also, after the meeting, Jane talked about these flyers. Anne Marie's going to be out by the back door. Make sure you grab one on the way out to talk about the VIP reception as well as the sponsorship opportunities that you all have for Kringle. Bring somebody to discover Rotary, please. I'm going to skip this because we're running late. We'll just run to the four-way test. If you would all stand and join me, please. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?